Now we're live.
Nice.
Now we're live. No, we're not.
Yeah,
I
we're
see
live
blue
now.
on the trailer still. We're not live yet, guys. Hold on.
It's a delay.
I love it how you guys think you have to explain this shit to me. I think I'd get more fun out of you guys getting all flustered. Oh my god, he doesn't even know there's a delay.
Yeah,
I love
know.
that PJ has to cover up to like every single week that he forgets that we're live, just to be like, oh, you guys have to keep reminding me. And it's all fun and games. I know we're live.
That was always a joke.
It's always a
It was
joke,
always a joke.
except when it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it comes back, and then it's so overused it becomes ironic again, and then it's funny all over again.
Yes.
Yeah,
The master of comedy at work.
That's the Gen Z cycle of a joke.
The Gen Z cycle of a joke.
First, it's really funny because they were the
untrue.
first to know it. Then they hate it because everybody knows it, and then it comes back again because they use it ironically. That's the cycle of a Gen Z joke.
And then you kill it with fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are we
I
talking?
need a hero. Why does she need a hero? May. May needs a hero.
It
I
was
need a
from
hero.
the Netflix
That's a
trailer
good-
for He-Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's since we
Uh,
did
well,
that.
But isn't that the song from the Flashdance? The Flashdance
Yeah, it's,
album?
Footloose.
Bonnie Tyler.
Oh, Footloose.
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 Yeah.
Footloose. It's
Yeah.
Footloose.
It was also in Short Circuit, which is a great.
It was, which was pre both those movies,
Oh.
Yeah.
right?
No,
No, I
Footloose
think
was
it was
first.
after.
Footloose was
Footloose was
first.
first,
Footloose
yeah.
was first.
It was
I
actually
loved
recorded
Footloose.
for that movie.
Oh,
Surprisingly.
Oh.
wow. Yeah, it was a big soundtrack, man, back then.
Yeah, soundtracks used to be bigger, right? What if like in the middle of the Batman movie, like I Need a Hero started playing? Would that be cool, or like you'd be like, whoa, wait a minute?
I think if it had like a somber kind of tone to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like
that weird cover.
like
Yeah.
if Bush covered I Need a Hero,
Yeah,
you know?
My Chemical Romance covered.
Yeah, exactly.
Gunn
Yeah.
brought back the soundtrack. That was a good sound. He brought back the soundtrack. But you
Yeah,
know,
he
when they
did.
did Pulp Fiction and Travolta was like, let's come back. Oh, now we can get some money in that. That boy had a piece of Saturday Night Fever, Saturday Night Fever
Yeah.
soundtrack
Yeah.
and the Grease soundtrack. He was a zillionaire
Yeah.
before he even did Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Like he already owned like 3 planes or something.
He's great.
That's interesting. Yeah, but you bring up James Gunn, but he uses old songs. But you know, like the old movies artists would create songs specifically for movies, right? You know, so like you'd have a movie that would launch, and artists would make songs for that movie, right? Like I'm trying to think of like a great example,
Like James Bond.
well, yeah, kind of like James Bond. I mean, that's usually like a singular song, you know, the opening
Yeah.
title song. But like Empire Records, or like I'm trying to think like what had amazing soundtracks back in the day, like The Crow, or
Oh, The Crow had a great one. I actually really liked the soundtrack for like Queen of the Damned and stuff. That was pretty great.
Oh, that was a good one.
yeah.
Great soundtrack.
But yeah, they don't really do that anymore. You don't really see that very often. I don't know. We're off topic, way off topic, which is awesome.
Not as off topic as
Actually,
my
we
box
could
of
be
dog
on
bones in the
topic
background.
about the old theme song in this trailer, or in general for the Batman movie, right? It's the Nirvana song. One of the Nirvana songs, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's that's
Yeah.
kind of on your topic trend.
It is, yeah, nice segue. I mean, yeah. So here's the deal. The Batman is here. Matt Reeves, DC fandom. How do you say that?
Fandom.
I don't really care. Anyway, no. You know why? Because I was watching it and someone came on and was it The Rock or somebody? He's like, I'm here for the fandom, and I'm like, I don't think that's how you say it, Rock. Anyways, they dropped.
You would actually say that to The Rock? I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. No, he would
No.
crush my
No,
puny
you
head with in between his.
Like even
biceps.
if he had a
just
booger
look at
hanging
you
from
and
his nose, I wouldn't be like, hey, I would be like, oh, cool.
But it would be great. I would have somebody film it while I get destroyed. Like he would literally, grab me by 2 hands and put me into a ball and then throw me through a hoop.
Yeah.
Like something out of Looney Tunes. So DC fandom dropped a bunch of stuff like Flash teaser. There's like Black Adam, which is why The Rock was there. Like video games for the Justice or for. God, what am I blanking on? Not the Justice League, but the Suicide Squad video game. I mean, didn't they announce?
Don't worry, there's no test on this.
Yeah, and then at the very end, we finally got the Batman, right? This thing that's been the Batman, not
Yes.
Batman Returns,
The
not
Batman.
not Batman Unlimited, not Batman the Batman, Matt Reeves Batman with the guy from Twilight. What's his name again? Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
I like him.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I like. You know what? I liked him in Harry Potter. I liked him in Twilight.
He was
Twilight
good
was
in Harry Potter.
Twilight was close to me. I mean, I know a lot of people hated on it, but do you know that Nathan and I had the script to make Twilight from Stephanie, and we kind of laughed at it and poo-pooed on it.
Yeah. That wasn't a script. That was actually.
That was
actually.
how
You would
you
have
feel
had
now.
you would have had liquid gold.
I know. We had literally had the movie
Oh,
script,
no.
and Nathan and I in his house were going through it, and he's like, "What part am I going to play? I want to play a vampire." I was like, "No, I think she wants you as the dad." And I was like,
Yes.
and he threw it up on his he had a guest room in his back of that one house there, and it was sat up on the top shelf. And I remember going back years later, and there it was, just sitting there,
Sitting
still
there.
on the top shelf.
No.
Yeah,
Like, how you like me now?
we kick ourselves over that one every
Aw.
once in a while.
Well,
Yeah.
Stephanie Meyer is in her mansion laughing at you.
yeah, but it's
So-
definitely like
but
it's
so
just
I
as
like
important.
him.
You either love it or you hate it. So I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean, Batman doesn't sparkle that I've seen, so that's a good sign. Anyway,
But it's like the
I forgot about that.
second.
I forgot.
The story takes place in his second something as a Crusader, like his second villain, or like it's early in his career.
This is
Yeah,
year
correct?
two. Yeah.
Oh.
This is year two.
Yeah, that's where Reese went back and changed, because there was a lot of delays with this, like COVID delayed twice, and
Yeah.
and then what's his face dropped out for the divorce and the rehab stunt, and then Pattinson came in, so things moved around a lot.
dropped
Yeah.
out or
Or
said
drugged
bye-bye.
out, drank
Whatever.
out, drank himself out.
Yeah, well, no, I think DC was it was sort of like, hey, we're going in a new direction. Matt Reeves came and said like, hey, I want to do this new thing. I don't want to do the Batfleck. I want to do something new. He actually had Pattinson in mind, so he sort of had this vision.
He wants a detective version, like a noir Batman
Yes.
detective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
So
think
that's what we got.
this trailer's coming, bringing that in spades. Why don't
Yeah,
we
let's
watch
go
it?
ahead and watch
And we can
Count her
break it
down.
All right.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Speaking of film,
There's that Pellman
I'm
drop.
so excited.
yeah, that looks like something out of
okay.
Fincher, man.
It looks like the window from that famous painting where they show the people
Yes.
inside the
Oh,
bar.
That's what I was
Yes.
thinking.
Yeah. Aren't they dogs? No.
Wrong.
Oh.
Oh, I saw this. I saw that scene somewhere.
Yes, Kay.
That barista's pretty on point.
Right? Did Edward Nash have a?
We don't use enough Pellman hits in our stuff, True.
I'll put more in.
Yeah, more Pellman hits.
Yeah.
It's not just a call.
The dialogue coach died in the middle of this.
What? Really?
Yep.
It's a warning where I'm beating the end. Oh, he got literally got shot and brushed that off.
Did you see that like
window thing.
reverberate across his suit? That was cool.
That was cool.
Like it like absorbed.
So he's
energy.
fighting all the Joker guys. Is that what this is about? Like he's fighting all the Joker guys?
We're seeing
not
that.
quite. But technically, not wrong.
Prisoners to match.
That's a cool explosion.
I can take care of myself.
Yes.
Yes.
You're gonna need some more
She looks amazing in this.
Zoe
I love her.
So good.
Ugh.
Andy Serkis, man.
It's only gonna get worse for you.
Gollum's in here.
Yeah. Bring on the ass-kicking Batman.
Right?
Wait, this doesn't look right.
Take it easy, sweethearts.
Maybe we're not so
Ooh.
different.
She looks
Okay.
incredible.
She looks so good.
Yeah.
What a great.
That's a great.
Oh no way.
Yes.
Dude, he just took like 2 machine guns in the chest. Like it wasn't.
And surprisingly, not one of them hit him in the face.
No, I know. True.
Oh, the car is interesting. I like that shape better than the cartoony one.
All right. Oh. That's a great shot.
Great shot.
I mean, yeah, but as Alfred?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Is that Colin Farrell
Dude, that is totally Colin Farrell.
in a
I
fat
forget that
suit?
every
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Oh,
This shot.
yes.
Oh my god.
I feel like that shot was filmed just for this logo entry. Like,
Yeah, it probably won't be in the movie. Oh, I liked how they did that.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna go first.
I have to wait till March.
I'm not a
Yeah,
superhero
March
guy, never
2022.
have been, but that trailer is so well done. I'll go watch it. It's just a well done trailer.
Right.
Like, it totally intrigues me. It gave me Batman a different way. I personally love the darker noir part of it. That's why I love Nolan's Batman,
Yes.
but and not Nolan North's Batman. Sorry. And I just yeah, I want to see it. But March, like, what the fuck? Like, how early do they have to put this out? October, November,
don't wanna
December, January,
wait.
February,
They've been
March.
teasing this for a while. Too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That was well done trailer.
Yeah.
The
I like
lighting
that.
on that was fantastic. How cinematic was all of those shots?
And everybody was good. Like, Zoe Kravitz looked awesome. He looked good as Batman. You didn't cheese me out.
Catwoman.
Colin Farrell looked amazing. I liked everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing I didn't like. Maybe
Really?
maybe
Okay.
3 too much Pellman hits, but that's the way they
You
do
know
it.
what?
317 too many.
Wait, was the idea there? And correct me if I'm wrong. Like, they showed you that group of people, then they showed you the Joker face guy. Does this movie take place after that Joker movie where he kind of lights everybody the town on fire, or or was that
No.
supposed to be the Joker?
I'm imagining this is like a reimagining of the world.
Yeah, I think it's a
bit.
whole new.
Hey, by the way, thanks EJ for
Yeah,
that.
thank you,
suit,
EJ.
Oh,
buddy.
thank you.
Yeah, we're super excited for this film too. I think this is like a younger Batman. This is like taking out. I don't think this fits into any of the Batmans. Like, I think this
Okay.
is sort of taking all of the other films out of the continuity. This is sort of like reinventing the world. But yeah, you're right. Like, it does show him fighting clown face villains. So apparently the Joker has already sort of been around, and Batman, like, the bat signal's already there. He's already working with the police in some fashion. So there's already a relationship. He's already helping the city. So this is jumping right into it. Like, he's already sort of the Batman. He's already doing things versus sort of like him versus like an origin story. I don't think we're going to see shoot the parents get killed montage by
No.
the theater in
No.
an alleyway, and we're not going to see him going to the mountains and learning how to fight, Ra's al Ghul kind of thing. Like, we're not going to get that whole origin story. I think this is going to jump right into it, right into whatever the Riddler is doing. Maybe we get a little bit of hint of like him obviously fighting like goons and stuff like that. So but yeah, this is interesting. This is super interesting, the direction.
I also thought that though with the clown face villains, where he's looking at them through the train and then he kind of gets nitty gritty with them. But I would imagine that that's probably something they're gonna play it off like it's Halloween and they're just being dicks.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think so. And I think they're
Okay.
gonna play it off like that, and that he's actually hunting them for some reason. Like, they're obviously connected to the underworld, and like they're not just like randos.
It seems too obvious though to not be tied into the Joker, even if it's like a tease to a later something
True,
coming.
I would agree.
Like, like a
Like
Joker is
Scarecrow.
building an army. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, actually, I thought for a minute there that like they were teasing the Joker when you kind of you see a shot of him going to prison and talking to somebody, and it's only that like you can kind of zoom in and you can actually see the reflection of the glasses that Paul Dano is wearing. So it is definitely the Riddler he's talking to. We just never see his face, which is just beautiful in this trailer. I think that's so good. Like, save all that for the film.
Why though? I feel like that's an interesting choice. Like, why not show the villain? Like, even in the teaser that came out like months ago, you never see Paul Dano's face. Like,
kinda
so
like
there's
that.
obviously doing it for a plot twist reason. Like, there's got to be a reason for that. Like, why? Like, you show every other person. Like, you literally showed Catwoman, you showed Alfred, you showed Commissioner Gordon, you showed
But I think
the
that's
Penguin.
why. I feel like that's why. I think maybe like just dramatic effect. Like, you've seen everybody else, but like, let's leave something for when you come to the cinema.
Surprise, yeah.
Okay. I mean,
gonna
that's
say-
an interesting choice, but
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead, Steph.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I've been rewatching the Avatar, The Last Airbender, and like, it's kind of interesting. Like, they never really showed the Fire Lord's face up until like a certain point, so I feel like that's kind of like a similarity for this. Like, for Paul Dano's character, for the Riddler, like, yeah, I agree with Pagan. Like, I think it is kind of like the one thing to leave for a surprise. Like,
Yeah.
I at first thought like Colin Farrell's character was gonna have like, or like he was the main villain, but then now I'm starting to think that it's more more on the Riddler, and so like because we have yet to see And I wonder too if there's maybe even like other smaller like early beginnings of like other villains. So like Scarecrow, like
potentially, yeah.
That was terrifying in
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the kind of stuff too. Like I would love to see. So like seeing those guys with the faces. That's kind of like what I think of is like.
It's hard to do the Riddler, right? Because he's kind of over the top. He's usually he's like, riddle me this, Batman, and he's like doing his.
He's mercurial. He's very mercurial.
You know what? I might have to look that word up.
I did. I had to look it up too. Cadred put it in there. I'm like,
Nice,
he's very mercurial. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Fucking SAT word.
See how fast I threw it back at you though? I couldn't own it though. I couldn't own it.
Like it. That's good.
Yeah. But I mean,
PJ, Batman Returns 1992. Michael Keaton as Batman I like Michael Keaton as Batman.
He was a good
Well, you're going to get more.
You're going to get more of that. Yeah, in the
I
Flash.
liked him.
Yes.
Yeah,
so he's Batman in the Flash.
No,
Yes.
well, he's Batman, and Flash traveled to his time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
time
he
lapse.
does some
There you go.
timeline shenanigans
Some
that
sort of time
happen.
travel thing. It's the Flash.
Yeah.
Well, see, I guess
on
that's
board.
where it's sort of like DC's so all over the place, and it's interesting, but I'm also kind of like confused, right? Like I don't know, like so the Flash is continuing off what the Justice League was doing. Wonder Woman's continuing her storyline. And now this Batman comes out of left field. It has nothing to do. Is this more like the Joker movie, which doesn't have anything to do with anything? It's like standalone.
No,
Is
you
there
know what
only
it
gonna be
is?
one
The
of these?
studios are like, I need to make some money. What can we do? Let's dust off Batman, do it a one-off, and do some stunt casting, and away we go.
Yeah.
That's why.
And then if it's successful, do they bring him into the larger fold? I guess I get a little anxious, right? Because I don't see what DC's trying to do. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't see the plan, and maybe I don't need to. Maybe it doesn't need to be there. I don't know. Maybe Marvel has trained me to think everything should connect, and I just need to unwire my brain and to think like, why can't I just deserve a Batman that's a standalone or a one-off or something that's interesting? So I'm trying to get on board with this.
Wow, you're not on board with this?
No, I am. I have issues. I do have some issues.
Hands.
Yeah, no, hear me out. Like,
Okay.
there's some issues. Like, so, Batman's a little, and I get it's like an early Batman, but there's a little bit of conflict there, because he's super like emotional in this. Like, he's like very like he's beating the shit out of one dude. Like Catwoman's even like taken aback by it in the trailer. Like, he's like screaming. Like, you see him like screaming in the car going after the Penguin. Like, he is like on a rampage. Like, he is literally like, I am vengeance. I'm gonna beat the shit out of everybody. He's where I guess I prefer the Batman that's a little bit more like calculated, a little bit more cold, more like Vulcan, more logical, more like I'm outsmarting you and I'm doing it because I'm a better detective than you, not because I'm a ball of rage that's just gonna just come. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel
let me
like there
ask
needs
you
to be
this.
more nuance to Batman.
Let's get real here. If you are a mercenary, and that's pretty much what he is, right? He's a mercenary. You're in a fight, and somebody's trying to kill you. Are you going to beat him up just enough so he can wake up later? No.
Well,
No.
but that's
I'm putting that guy. I'm putting that guy 6 feet under.
This is the
He
rule.
doesn't kill people.
You cannot kill people as Batman.
Yeah.
Batman does not kill people.
That's like a hard
That's
rule.
that's a hard rule for him.
Yeah, that's a hard
Yeah, well,
rule.
that guy that took those punches in that trailer is not getting up. I remember I used to work at Mississauga General, and you get kids that come in and their faces are completely destroyed from a single punch, like their entire jaw shattered with one punch, and you see them just wailing. They're dead. They're dead. It's like UFC fighting when that guy's out and he's on top of there and he does 2-3 extra hits. I'm just like, God,
brain damage.
Yeah.
Something tells me though that was so in previous trailer we've seen the Riddler fully dressed up in what looks like a bomb suit. He's like a fully black padded suit with a mask and then glasses over the mask, which is very Zodiac killer, right? Which is what Matt Reeves is like drawing a whole bunch of inspiration from. There's a lot of inspiration from Seven here, from Nolan, from a whole bunch of things, which you can definitely see in this trailer. But I think that part that you're talking about, where he's absolutely wailing on somebody, I think that it could potentially have been like maybe he has actually caught the Riddler or someone who he thinks is Riddler, and they're in this massive bomb suit. So even though he's like wailing in on him, he's probably not going to be dead from it. You're definitely going to be limping home.
You
like,
always go to these crazy, deep, very insightful, well-thought, winding trails of conspiracy when you watch these trailers. What was the one she did last time? And I was like, oh, I have to remember that because I wonder if that's true.
Yeah.
What was that? What was it we were talking? What was the one you were trying to?
She thought He-Man was actually a Care Bear.
Yes, I'm still convinced.
Debunked that. We debunked that, I think.
No, there was one we were trying to figure it out. It was.
I don't know. We go deep on some shit.
I tend to get
look it.
We were trying to figure out the
Batman
conspiracy.
Fan, okay. I like it. I think it's a good thing. I like it.
I like it. I like it. The man of the bat.
I'm very excited about this, but I actually think what you're onto there regarding like he's a very emotional Batman, right? It's year 2. He's not hardened by the years of shit he's had to deal with in a crime-centered Gotham. You know what I mean, Drew? Like that's the ones we're always used to. It's just this kind of like, not counting the actual Gotham series when he's like a kid, right? Which, like Sean Purity, I can't pronounce his surname. One of the greatest Alfreds ever. Yeah, underrated. Anyway, but what I was gonna say is he seems like very emotional and very on the cusp of losing control. Like he looks like he could almost kill somebody, and I feel like that's gonna drive people.
But I wish in Ace Warrior, I hear you. He says, I feel like Batman doesn't become that calculated. I have contingency plans for everyone until much later after he figures out what he's really doing as Batman and who is Bruce Wayne. No, I totally hear you, mate, and I totally hear you too, Pagan. Where it's sort of like this is a younger Batman. He sort of needs to learn to be that. But then, like again, I think that goes counter to like then you shouldn't have casted Robert Pattinson and with giving him like an emo haircut and then like with the black like eye dye. He just looks like sad Bruce Wayne, and it's like sad. I'm angry at the world. Like you know what I'm saying? Like there needs.
It's called millennial diversity.
I don't even know what that means either.
Welcome
to you got to have your emos. You got to have all the different types of personalities.
Yes, dude.
Expressed there. So
yeah,
I don't mind. I'm trying to disagree with you, but I kind of when I saw emo Batman, I was a little bit like, really?
Yeah.
I kind of get it. I gotta agree with you here. I don't agree with you often. I gotta agree with you here.
The kid has lost his parents, and he's been literally like delved into the world of crime because he's very wealthy, financially wealthy. He knows about all the crime in the fucking world, and it's just like
if my parents were killed and I was that super wealthy, I wouldn't go into the life of crime. I'd be on Ibiza somewhere.
Yeah, but he's also got a God complex, right? Like he needs to help and save.
I'll go be God in Ibiza.
There's no reason for his being.
I think
no way. I'm not going to go around.
No, go ahead, Steph. What are you going to say?
Sorry, Steph.
Well, I feel like maybe he's like a little bit of a perfectionist too, like because he's set out because he wants to do what he wants to do. He wants to help people. But I think for him, like if he's not getting it right, like I think that for me is like maybe why he's emotional about things at some points, like hitting the wall, like if he missed target, if he didn't do what he was supposed to do, and like somebody got away, whatever it is. Like, I think for him, like, he's just taking things really hard. And especially if it's, like, following that noir vibe, I'm curious to see, too, like I feel like it is going to be more of, like, a old, like, detective kind of, like, movie, like, solving something. Like, so I'm curious, too, to see how that...
I do hope it leans heavy into the detective side of things, which it does look like it's going to. Like, there's a shot where he's, like, spray painting on the floor, like trying to put the puzzle together, which also I was a little bit confused. I was like, Batman's usually pretty tech savvy, even early in his career, had like technology at his, because he has unlimited funds, right? So the fact that he's sort of like spray painting his bat floor, trying to figure things out, is a little like, okay, I mean, you could probably use a computer to do the same thing.
Tangible stuff.
Tangible things. And I hear you, Chad. Chad is totally like, he isn't Batman emo, isn't that who Bruce Wayne is? No, absolutely. But the difference is, I think the casting here is a little off. He looks great as when he's in the suit, but as Bruce Wayne, I need a little bit more of the charisma.
You're just jealous.
I am totally jealous.
So jelly. You're so jelly.
He is dreamy. Robert Pattinson is dreamy. I mean, he's a sexy dude. But I just don't buy him as Bruce Wayne, and it's a little disconcerting. So I'm a little.
So outside of your favorite Bruce Wayne, who should be Bruce Wayne? Like nobody that's been it already. because Keaton was the best.
I mean, that's a good.
Oh, I did like Val Kilmer. Sorry, I like Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
I liked Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne, but Michael Keaton as Batman. I spoke about this yesterday, the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would you like to see that's never been cast?
I'd like to see an African American Batman, like somebody
Dude,
like
yes.
I'm trying to think
Like
like
Michael B. Jordan or something.
yeah. I mean, a little less like
Maybe,
Bruno.
yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. I need to kind of wrap my head around that. But I do think I'd like to see a little bit more of a reinvention.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to see a reinvention. I'd like to see a complete rethinking of this.
I think this
and
is
something done totally cool.
I mean, okay, like not to a whole unrecognizable Batman level, but I definitely do think this is definitely a reimagining or reinvention of Batman. It's younger, more emotional, kind of angry Batman that we haven't really seen much of. And let's face it, right? Like, there's only two villains really that push his buttons like they do, which is Joker and Riddler. And Riddler, I think, is the smarter of the two and always manages to get under his skin. So I think I do definitely think this whole movie, he's definitely going to be on the cusp of losing control. I do want to pick out
interesting.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I was just going to pick out one more thing that you said was the eyeliner. You don't really dig that. I am so thankful they put fucking makeup in this movie, because every time you can see the makeup through the mask and they take it off and it's just disappeared. Michael Keaton,
little bit of movie magic.
Oh, I fucking hate that, man. I was like,
I agree with you.
Like, just acknowledge the fact that he's put whatever it is on his eyes. It could be fucking grease. I don't care. I just think that's really cool. Like, acknowledge the fact that there's makeup there to hide his identity. I
agree. It's sort of like when you see him not in costume and he's got the, I don't know. It's sort of like
just taking it off. Give him a chance. He has to watch his face.
No, I know. I'm just judging a trailer and I'm just getting a vibe. That's all. And it has nothing to do. I totally agree. I like the realism that they're bringing. And someone mentioned Idris Elba as Batman. I would love like if a younger Idris Elba, like going back, like Prometheus Idris Elba back in the day, like when I think he's a little too old now, but I think that's a good look as a Batman. I think he'd be good. Another thing that stood out, so Andy Serkis. Let's talk about Alfred Pennyworth here.
Oh, yes. Let's do it.
For a second, I mean, what an interesting casting choice. And he's actually got scars on his face. It looks like in the trailer.
Yeah.
So this is a legit, I used to be an ass kicker, Alfred, not the I'm a butler and that's all I do. This is I used to be a secret agent kind of shit.
So this actually reminded me, have you seen Gotham, the TV show?
Yeah.
No, it's terrible.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, granted, it's not for everybody. Okay. And I was like, I'm not into this. And then I was like, no, I'm totally into this. And I binge watched the whole thing. But the Alfred in that as well, there is a comic as well. Chat, feel free to correct me here where that comic is. I can't remember which one. It could be Year One, could be Hush, I'm not sure. But there is an Alfred that is essentially MI6. He had trained in MI6, and then when he brought up Batman, he had helped him. And then there's another kind of, hints towards Batman could have been trained in by the Court of Owls and Ra's al Ghul's kids, that whole fam, they were all ninjas and shit. So I think it's really cool that they're going this way with Alfred. I love that. Jeremy Irons, by the way, what an Alfred. Just my fave so far. But I think Andy Serkis could do this really, could do real justice here, for sure.
I hope so. I just, it's sort of, he doesn't.
It's interesting.
It's interesting. I'll give it that.
It's different. It's different from the other
cool.
movie Alfreds that we're used to, I think.
Yeah.
Have you noticed though how the way that it's all moved away from when they first started doing live action of these films, they were more what's the word? They had the big parties and there was the damsel in distress it was and it was they were a little more fantastical in the delivery of it. It was more glamorous. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. And now it's completely the other end. It's super gritty. Yeah. Life is from the heavy metal cartoon now, but in real life, that's what it's like.
Yes. Yeah.
It's interesting. I wonder if it'll ever swing back. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, right?
I think go ahead, Steph. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I think that kind of swung back a little bit with the first Suicide Squad that they did, and what they've been doing with that. I think that's where that has kind of come back in. loosely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I just want to go on
a little
record that I
fantastic.
said this in the Justice League thing, that DC needs to lean into the darkness. Batman is fucking dark. Lean
Yeah.
into that darkness, and this is totally what we get through that scene. Literally, as well as, like, on an emotive level, because, the scene where he's walking down the corridor and the only light you're seeing is off of the ricochet and the firing of bullets. And they're just firing into his chest, miraculously missing his whole, lower face. But anyway, it's just so odd. Although
But I
there
hope they
was a
explain
quote.
that. Like, unless you're Iron Man and he's just literally walking into like 50 rounds of an automatic weapon being fired directly into his
Something's
chest, like
gotta-
without even, like, what does he have? Like and then he's able to like move. So I hope they.
It's a superhero movie.
There was a quote,
No,
I think.
but Batman. See, that's the thing about Batman. He's not a superhero. He is, but he's not
a
like.
vigilante.
He's not like, he doesn't have superpowers. His superpower is
Being rich.
Yeah.
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 He did say, I think there's a quote in one of the comic books. Again,
great
I don't know what comic book. I apologize, chat. You can feel free to correct me. And there's a quote in one of the comic books that somebody had asked him, like, why the emblem on the chest? And he said so that they'll never go for the face or something like that. Like, he's like, it'll redirect you because it's the first thing you'll see. And I mean, if that's how you're gonna play it, then that's how you're gonna play it. And like the lighting on
Well,
this
and
looks...
when you're in a dark alley, it's not like you know where someone's face is anyway.
True.
So I mean, I'm not gonna
You
shit all over
could
it.
guess,
It's a
though,
great
Drew.
scene.
Like, you could
You could guess.
Guess.
Just aim high.
The muzzle
Little
fire
high.
off of the, like, the light from the muzzle fire will probably give you an indication. Like, after the first two shots, you'd be like, oh,
But
it's
you're
a little
so
up.
terrified from fear that it's
True.
Batman. You don't
Yeah.
know what to do.
True.
Your mind goes googly.
Yes.
Especially this Batman, who looks gritty and dark as fuck, and he's probably
and-
gonna
well,
kill you. He won't.
Yeah,
But
once
he
you just
could.
saw him beat the shit out of your best friend over there, your best friend Goon number 5, and
Goon
you're like,
5,
Johnny, Goon number 5, he's dead, he's bleeding, his face is
He's
running.
1 week away from retirement.
Yeah,
He needs to use that
Totally.
black
Setting.
paint. You know, that stuff that's so dark it absorbs light, even for his
Right.
makeup.
Yes.
He
that
needs to
super
use that.
paint, that super
Yeah.
absorption black.
Yeah, he
what
needs
is that
to
called?
do- needs to use
Vantage,
that.
Vantage black or something? I forget what it's called. So let's talk about Colin Farrell real quick in a fat suit as
Go for it.
Oswald Cobblepot, the Penguin. Okay, I'm all in on what Colin Farrell's doing here. It's choice. Like, it's really nice. He's got the Penguin. I think
There's a butt coming. There's a butt coming.
it is. There is a butt coming. I guess I want the Penguin to be, and okay, this could be a Penguin origin story where he becomes a little bit more grotesque. But the Penguin, I kind of want him to look more like the Penguin, right? He's sort of look
With
like
the
a
pointy
little
nose.
bit, yeah, a
a
little
Like Tim
more
Burton's
pointy.
Penguin?
little bit.
Yeah, not
No.
quite that far.
Not that again.
But I need a little bit more. Batman lives in a fantastical world where he fights weird shit, right? And the
True.
Penguin is kind of weird and creepy, and he looks more mob boss, less creepy, weird Penguin guy. You know, like I don't know, like sometimes when they get too real, they try to make everything so grounded that
Yeah.
we're no longer in fantasy.
See, this is the start of swinging it back the other way.
Right,
Here we go.
right.
We're going
Yeah.
back the other way. We're gonna be. Oh, I've seen that gritty version so many times.
Yeah,
And then you start swinging it back.
I
yeah.
don't know. I kind of disagree. I love that, like, the Riddler is played like this. I love the Penguin played like this. Like, I like the look of these people because it looks so ordinary. Like, it totally, like, he could just
could
be
be
this
anyone.
big mob boss in Gotham, and he's just nicknamed the Penguin, and I like that. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from, though.
It makes
is
it more
cool.
relatable
Totally
in
see where you're
the
coming from.
possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The same way with Catwoman as well. I'm actually quite surprised that she is not at all, seemingly from the trailer, hiding her identity from him. Like, he's definitely all masked and stuff, and she's, at one point it's like, who is that under there? Who are you under there? And that's when he says, I am vengeance, which is fucking dope. But I think that's kind of interesting. Like, why doesn't she have something to hide her identity? Not anywhere in this whole trailer does she have any sort of mask or anything.
She has wigs.
She has wigs.
Because some male executive said, "I'll leave the mask off. She's too pretty."
She's
She's
hot
fucking
though.
hot in this.
What a Selena Kyle. Oof, what good casting. I
Yeah.
need wet floor signs. It's
Yeah.
just, oof.
Yeah,
She's great.
If you ever, there's one season of it was on Hulu. It's based on that book, The Record with the
Drew's trying
Do
to
you have
think
Google
again,
in front of
guys.
you, Drew?
I do, but I don't. I thought it was on the tip of my tongue, and I
Drew had no sleep last night. He was up 7 times.
Yeah, that's
High
true.
Fidelity.
That's
High Fidelity.
High Fidelity.
So
there we go.
she's amazing in High Fidelity. Go watch that. She's super hot too in High Fidelity.
She's just hot in general.
We're not allowed to say that anymore in the Me Too movement thing.
What?
You can say she's super smart. You can't
she's
say
super
she's hot. You can't say that.
Well,
unless the air conditioner broke. Unless the air conditioner broke and she was
fair.
sweating, and you can't say that anymore.
Maybe
We're
she
gonna get in
was. She
trouble,
wears a
dude.
lot of leather.
It does.
Of
take
all
place
the people that's going to get in trouble,
New
it's gonna be
York in
Drew.
the summer, so it is hot in the summer.
It is
in
very
New
hot.
York.
There's a lot of leather involved. Running around, jumping off of buildings and shit. You know.
Oh.
Yeah,
You know how sweaty it is when you wear your leathers, Drew.
Yeah.
it's true. You got a lot of powder, and it
And
really
the
helps.
chafing. Oh my
The
God.
chafing is- The chafing.
Can you imagine
is,
those rock stars in the 70s and 80s and they came off stage afterwards wearing those leather pants and they had their groupies waiting for that? It was just like, oh my God, go shower first, please.
Please.
I just think about the weirdest things sometimes.
You do. I don't know how to segue out of this. It's just awkward.
Well, anyway, Zoe Kravitz is great casting.
Adam,
It
There you
is,
go.
yeah, and she looks like the ass kicker we want Catwoman to be, which is great. Yeah, no qualms there. I think that's on point. And my only other thing I was going to bring up is the lack. I don't maybe not lack of, but or at least in the trailer. But Batman's typically got some cool gadgets, and we're not really seeing other than the badass car.
Snippets.
And he's got maybe like a taser attached to his wrist or of some sort. But
Yes.
there's no you're not seeing any grappling gun, which is sort of like a Batman staple.
True.
We're not seeing any batarangs, which is kind of like, go
have
go Pagan. Yeah, raise, your hands raised. You in the corner, in the back. In the back.
Sorry,
What's your name again?
Sorry,
What's your
please,
name again? She's zealous.
Yeah, sorry.
Go.
The emblem on his chest looks detachable. It looks detachable.
It does.
Looks.
So
You're
he could
reaching
potentially
there,
just
girl.
be like,
You're reaching there, Pagan.
Yeah.
and then like batarangs. You don't know.
Hold on, guys.
I saw a bulge in his pants. I think there's a weapon in there.
Yeah.
Oh, there is.
I don't.
The
I don't.
batarang. The big.
It does though, because we didn't
The
see any of
batarang.
these things except for like electric gloves or something, which is interesting. And the way it kind of ricochets like bullets and stuff is really interesting because it kind of reminds me of Batman versus Superman, or is it in Justice League? I don't know, one of the two. And he
Maybe
has
they're
like
saving it for
a
the movie.
panel that absorbs energy.
Oh.
So it kind of looks like that because as soon as it hits you, like you can see it kind of ricochet across, so it like absorbs energy and just disperses it.
I just think that was like maybe like a shotgun, so it had multiple like flare offs from his bulletproof suit. I don't
Nah,
think
bro,
that's
I don't
actually
believe
like. I don't think there's any technology there. I think it was like a mini.
I think they just kept it back because they always show the gadgets. I think maybe they're saying
agree.
that.
That's true.
I hear you. I guess I'm always like that I nerd out on like when Batman brings up like something cool like shark repellent, from the old days.
Oh
or
my god, please, yes. Just
Who's
something
Jeffrey
small in the
Wright?
background of this really super dark and gritty film. Just in the background on
Yeah.
a shelf is shark repellent spray.
Yeah, totally.
Please.
Like there needs to be some sort of callback to like the
That'd
old
be awesome.
school
Yeah.
Batman. But I don't know.
Feels interesting.
Yeah, the Batmobile's super interesting. Very
I
muscle
have it-
car, old
Yeah.
school. Like PJ, you said something. You
Yeah,
don't
I like
the
that.
old-
I've never liked the Batmobile. I'm always like, come on.
Even in the Christopher Nolan one that looks like a tank,
It's
like
better.
a Rambler.
It's
That
still,
was
but
awesome.
this is the first Batman car I kind of liked. Hey, have you ever gone to the Batman cave up in LA?
No, there's a
No.
Batman
What?
cave in LA?
Yeah, where they shot the original. You can
Where
hike
we
up there
go?
and go into the cave where they shot the TV show.
Oh no way.
Oh, caves.
Yeah, it's behind
Hiking?
Frank's house.
The
When you go to
Batmobile.
Frank's house, you can go walk up.
yeah.
back
By
up
the
that
Hollywood
way.
sign there.
No, Alan's on the Hollywood sign.
Oh,
Frank's
that's right.
more in down
Yeah.
down there that
Yeah.
way.
Cool.
That's cool. I didn't know. When can we go? When can we go?
Yeah.
Yeah,
when can
can I
we?
go? Hey, wait
We have
for
to go
me.
shoot. We're gonna go
Let's
shoot
do
a
it.
retro replay
Let's
Batman.
go class trip.
Oh, please, yes.
PJ,
Yeah, class trip. Oh, okay.
you're the shark.
Maybe snacks?
Yeah.
Bad shape snacks?
We'll make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah.
It'll be like
Okay,
a
good.
hike.
We
Ooh,
should when we
yeah.
open the studio, when we open the office back up, we should have like instead of casual Fridays, we should have, dress as your hero Thursdays or things like that.
Batman
Like that's what we
Thursdays.
should do.
I already dressed as Drew last year.
Yeah, that's true. was good. That was nice.
That was nice. That was nice.
Thank you.
Almost,
Thank you.
it's like asking for a raise.
Yeah, you can't
I
give
give you twice as much as what you're making now.
Oh,
Pagan.
excellent.
Yes.
I'm so thrilled.
Oh, man, that's great. You asked who Jeffrey Wright was playing. He's playing James Gordon.
Oh my God,
yeah.
looks
Oh,
amazing
yes.
as James
Commissioner
He's
Gordon.
very versatile as an actor. He can play a whiny,
He's a good-
miserable person, and he can play a really smart, intelligent.
Yeah,
Like he's so versatile.
He's in everything. Also,
Yeah.
like I can't turn on the television and not like hear Jeffrey Wright's voice or see
it.
him on something. He's
really good.
having an incredible couple years.
Yeah.
He's
I
also
love him
really
in
good on
Westworld.
Westworld. Yeah, he's really good.
So do you think this is going to, because obviously in this he's Lieutenant, right? Lieutenant Gordon? And he doesn't get commissioner, obviously, until Savage, I presume, will somehow get deceased in this film.
Hey, can someone get in the chat and get rid of
I got it.
Good. Thanks.
You're welcome. But yeah, I think like that might be interesting, but we've seen that before. We've seen this whole like there's a commissioner already in place and then, somehow Gordon gets a raise. I think we saw that with...
Yeah.
I'm
Talk about
like,
failing
okay.
upwards.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, my boss got killed again. So
Yeah. Somehow
I get
all of the deep corruption in like the Gotham police is just, after that commissioner dies, like Gordon's on it, which I'm actually okay with. I'm a big fan of. I like Commissioner Gordon. He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole thing looks really, really good. I think I'm so hyped for the Riddler. I think Paul Dano is one of the best choices they could have had for Riddler. And the whole, like, the opening of this trailer and everything was very Seven. It does remind me of that painting. I can't remember what it's called. That very famous painting.
Paul Dano, interesting.
But he's so good. I saw him in Prisoners, and I've seen him in a couple of things, but in Prisoners particularly, he was just excellent. Yeah, fucking hype, man. And the riddles are cool, and there's, like, decoding stuff, and... like we could probably figure stuff out as well.
I hope they're cool, right? Like I think that's the one thing in this when you have the Riddler, like the director has two choices here: is the audience in on it, or are we solving it with Batman, right? So are we watching Batman struggle while we know what the answer is, or are we on Batman's journey trying to figure it out? And if that's the case, if it's the latter, then it needs to actually be clever and it needs to actually be really cool. So that's why the Riddler's hard, because he actually is supposed to be really smart, like smarter than Batman in some cases.
He's the smartest man.
Yeah, so that therefore the movie needs to be very smart. So and that's why I think most directors kind of like decide not to go that route, because it's hard. It's hard to make a smart film. And actually be cinematic and fantastical and stuff like that, and have all like the big fight scenes and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. If he lands this, Matt Reeves, if he lands this, that'll be big on him.
I think from the trailer, I think
it looks incredible. Like again, the shots are just so choice. Like especially with the color, the reds and the dark.
Flare.
The flare,
So
very,
good.
very cool. You can definitely tell he's leaning on a lot of just like old thing. Like he's done his research, and he's definitely put a lot of work into this. So I appreciate that. Anybody who takes a big swing, and you can see someone put a lot of effort into something, I can definitely appreciate that. Even if he may or may not stick the landing, but I definitely appreciate the hard work. You can tell it's been put into this.
Have you seen Dawn or War of the Planet of the Apes?
Both.
Yeah,
they're good.
So good. So like, because I think I was definitely hesitant with you as well. Going back to what you were saying earlier about Robert Pattinson's casting, you were like, he was in Twilight and it was terrible, and this is bad choice. I was totally the same until Matt Reeves was announced as the director, and I think that was pretty later into the project, right? After that, I was like, I have full faith in this film. After seeing War and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, they're just so good. They're just so well done, so well directed. Everything, the whole mise en scène is just fantastic. So I'm very excited for this, and I think he will nail it in this whole detective noir film. I think Batman himself, like we hear him in this trailer, and he's going to, I think, be narrating this film in some way. Like we're gonna be inside Batman's head, I believe, which is great because a lot of the detective noirs and the comic books do that as well. So I think this is going to be very interesting.
I hope not. I'm on the fence on that.
I kind of like
I
it.
like that.
yeah.
I think that's very comic book. It's very true to the original styles, I guess.
Well, is
Think about
it
Sin City.
in the Batman voice that we can't understand half the time in the trailer,
No,
or is it in the
it's going to
Robert
be in
Pattinson
in the Bruce Wayne voice.
in the Bruce
Although,
Wayne? Okay.
I would totally agree with you though, because like when he gets out of the car and everything, and he's sitting in the diner, and he's got this long hair and this kind of like sad demeanor about him, and you're just kind of like, but Bruce Wayne though, I was hoping that he would come out and slick his hair back, because he's gorgeous, and he should play that as Playboy billionaire, like maybe he's gonna have a glow up or something, but I just think like the tone switch between Batman and Bruce doesn't seem all that big of a jump.
Maybe he's trying to figure himself out.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it's
Am I
year
Batman?
2.
Am I Bruce?
Yeah, I'm
maybe
fine
it's
with
not
him
supposed
figuring
to be
himself out, but
different.
how much of himself does he have to figure? If it's the whole, like, he's got to figure out Bruce Wayne, and he's got to figure out Batman, and he's got to figure out, like, then I'm like, holy shit, like, that's a lot of character development to do in 2 hours.
There's a lot of soul searching here for Bruce Wayne in this film while he's trying to fight the Riddler.
Yeah, it's sort of like I'm a really good Bruce Wayne, but I'm a shitty Batman. Okay, or I'm a really good Batman, I'm a shitty Bruce Wayne. I got to figure out how to, or juggle this world. That kind of something that Christopher Nolan's movies sort of did, where he was sort of struggling on how to be both. Which was interesting.
I was looking at the casting on IMDb just to see like some of the characters and stuff in here. So it looks like the Penguin owns a little club called the Iceberg Lounge, which I thought was, nice. Yeah, so like, there's definitely going to be, so there's definitely going to be that club aspects, like, of him going somewhere, like,
ooh, that's probably where Catwoman was in the Red Wig.
Yeah,
right?
we see them in the club. Yeah, she's like walking down, and you see Batman like beating the shit out of somebody over a railing in a club. What looks like. He probably confronts him in the back of his club, where he's like, whoa,
Yeah.
All right, I'm bored now.
Oh,
but I want to see this movie. We can pull this apart. Would you like me to go more?
Yes.
All right. Any questions from the audience?
Why is PJ so emo?
Yeah, why is PJ so emo? Who knows? He's soul searching. It's year 2.
I'm
gonna come into the office. He's gonna be wearing like black eyeliner.
Yeah.
I'm emo. All I wear is black. I'm emo. I'm a white-haired emo.
You are white-haired emo. You're like the elusive white-haired emo. We've never seen them in the wild before. I'm an albino.
I'm an albino emo. I'm an albino emo.
A white shirt. It's like the reverse. Like you wear all black, it'd be like white shirt. Like just if you come in one day, he's wearing all white. You're like, what? This is an interesting
I try to wear all white. I look like a snowman. Like it's just not a good look for me.
Question from the chat is Daniel S. Anyone not a fan of the costume? What do you think of the costume in this film? Daniel S. is not into it.
I mean, I'll jump into that. The costume's a little all over the place. There's a close up of like his nose guard, and it looks like it's like a leather like stitched. Like it looks very early, maybe in his costuming, but then you see him later, and he's got looks like literally an indestructible suit. It can just take tons of bullets being fired at it. So I don't know. I think we're going to see probably evolutions of the outfit throughout the movie. But he looks good in it. He looks strong. He looks a little like he looks young, but svelte, like built. He looks strong, which is cool. I do dig it.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see any nipples, so that was a little disappointing.
No.
I usually like nipples on my Batsuit, and definitely like the crotch area needs to look extra large.
Way too much information.
Did you know that for the audition or for the screen test, Robert Pattinson wore the suit Val Kilmer wore?
Seriously?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like he called up Val Kilmer and was like, "Hey."
I presume like they organized it so that he could do a screen test while they were still trying to make
Kilmer, you got that suit in your closet? I gotta do.
Val Kilmer was probably like, "Yo, bro, I have this suit. Do you want to wear it for your audition?" And Rob Pattinson's like, "No, I think it's that's okay." And he's like, "No, you should."
You should. Totally.
And you can't say no to Val Kilmer. So he's like, "Oh, I guess so." But yeah, he did anyway. So I kind of feel, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this suit. I feel better about this suit than Christian Bale's suit. But less about this suit than I do about Ben Affleck's suit.
I was going to say it reminds me a little bit more, like it looks a little apocalyptic. Like I went back to the scene when he's getting shot at.
Yeah.
And it looks a little different. Like he's got pants on. He's got boots, but you can tell they're pants. Like, it's not like the tight spandex or whatever it is that they're wearing, leather.
Yeah.
Like, there's some bagginess to it. So it is kind of interesting. Like, it does look like, like the early costume designs.
I think because I think it's definitely going back to like pre-Christian Bale era, because Christian Bale and then Ben Affleck, they're very much on that mercenary feel. Like, they're very military grade
tactical
suits, which I absolutely love. Wasn't just a big fan of, like, I think the last two movies, I guess, or the new suit, I guess, in the last film for Christian Bale, because it was very I didn't like the way it sat on his face, but I like that tactical idea, whereas this felt very costumey.
Okay.
And I think his cape was blowing in the wind, and honestly, all I could think about was just Edna Modes being like, "No capes." That's all I could think of.
Yeah.
So
what are we
I'm
talking
not
about?
like sold, but I'm interested.
The suit, PJ checked out for 30 minutes.
We're still talking about Batman?
PJ, what do you think about the suit?
I thought, fucking, I never looked. If I gotta look at the suit, it's a shitty movie. Next.
It's a shitty movie. Well, there you have it. Quote. That'll be on when the next trailer is like. And from CouchSoup, PJ said, "If you have to look at the cape, it's a shitty movie."
True. There are aspects of the suit that are cool, though. The whole like diffraction of energy.
But it's a
think
true
that's a thing. So
I remember one time on the set of Common, the crew was fussing over something on Nathan's jacket, and Nathan goes, "Hey, if they're looking at that jacket, then I'm not doing my job." And I was like, "Nice, good. We're done, ready, roll." Yeah.
But you have it on backwards, sir. You know what? It's fine.
Doesn't matter.
It's fine.
Yeah, I just got to act better.
The suit is kind of iconic. Like, you can't fuck with it too much because people be like, "Why is he yellow? This is weird."
I guess.
Actually, I'd go with a
good,
yellow Batman suit. It'd be like, then you'd be like, "Oh, it's Batman. I know it's Batman. I can see him 1,000 yards away. It's bright yellow." Kind of like Reverse Flash. You'd be like, "Well, that's a really bright outfit, Reverse Flash."
How do you get in and out of a bulletproof outfit? I mean, when you think about it, when you look back at the old outfits from days gone by, they had to do it with so many layers and stuff because they were worried about swords or things getting in underneath. And he's got this one unitard. Like, what if he's got to take a piss? Like, that thing, you need like 3 people to get out of that thing, and probably a harness or crane of some sort.
Totally.
That guy looks just crazy enough to wear a catheter in there. You know.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
There we go back to his
sure.
penis again.
He doesn't have time for fucking pee and like
when
your
you're in the
bladder
middle
to go
of
off.
when you're
Nah.
protecting the night, you're on night duty. Like you can't stop to take a shit somewhere. You just go in the suit.
I kind of want to see a spoof of that now.
Selena
like,
Kyle has to work with.
Why do you
whole
think
bunch when she's taking that off.
Why do you think he perches up on high rises? Because he's just dropping loads from up high, like on a and he's like,
don't shoot him in the face, shoot him in the ass or crotch, because you know he's got an escape door there.
Yeah, exactly. The flap comes down.
Maybe that's why he doesn't have one. He can't have any weak points. Oh, Genius. The catheter thing makes more sense now. The poop
Drain
thing, I'm
that
not
bat
sure.
doodle.
Maybe he's.
All right, no, seriously, let's end this shit. I got a meeting I got to get ready for.
Okay.
Let's go. Come on, call the end. Say goodbye.
If you've got really cool comments about what you thought about this trailer, put it in the comment section on the YouTube channel, and we might reply.
Yeah. I mean,
yes, and for those 4 people that thumbs down to you again, fuck off, and please give us some love on the way out. Thank you.
Yeah, give us some love on the way out.
Spent my Tuesday afternoon
said.
talking to you, and you give me a thumbs down. Go
All right, folks.
Yeah. Oh, and before we head out, make sure you check us out on. We have a podcast. You can find it wherever podcasts you can find. So iTunes, Spotify, Pocket Cast, wherever you listen to podcasts. So if you don't catch us, if you like to listen to us on like a drive or on your run.
Wait, this is a podcast?
Yeah, it's a podcast.
Yes.
Damn.
See,
You can listen
PJ,
to our voices on the podcast.
always catching on late in the game. That's how he rolls. And for that, we'll see you guys next week when we review the next great trailer that seems to
Let us know what you want us to
be
talk
every week. Yeah.
Disney.
No.
Of course.
Cartoon.
Nah.
Bye, everybody.
Musicals.
Oh, definitely not.
Peace out.
Bye, guys.